Hi everyone, in this video, Unit 2 Scale A, we are going to explore the scale. As we already know, an octave is a distance, or we can say interval, between any note and the next one up or down which has the same letter name. On the stave, we work out the size of an interval by counting the lines and spaces from one note to the other, including both notes. Here's an example of an octave. Answer this question. Remember to include the line and space on which each note is written. The word octave comes from the Latin word for number 8. Now, work out the letter names of the two notes on the keyboard. On written music, two notes an octave apart always have the same letter name. Here is an octave on the piano keyboard. Answer the question below. How many notes are there on the keyboard between two C and octave apart? Remember, the white keys each have a letter name and similar to the lines and spaces in written music. The black keys similar to a note on a line or space with a sharp or flat sign added. A scale is a pattern of notes selected from the three black and white notes on the keyboard between two notes and octave apart. There are different kinds of scales. Each kind of scale always has the same number of notes and the same pattern of tones and semitones. Remember, a semitone is a distance from any key on the piano to its nearest neighbor, usually black to white or white to black, but just occasionally white to white. And a tone is two semitones. And for this level, you need to know about three kinds of scale, which is major, harmonic minor, and the melodic minor. Please read and remember the following notes. When you write a major, harmonic minor, or melodic minor scale on music paper, you need to put a note on each of 8 consecutive, that means next door neighbor, lines and spaces. Sometimes a note needs a sharp or flat sign before it to make the pattern correct. Here is C major scale is written out for you. This is a good one to begin with as it doesn't need any sharp or flat signs. Check it out. Does it follow the rules? Scales can be written in two ways, which is ascending or descending. The ascending scales starting on a lower note, climbing up an octave to a higher note. A descending scale starting on a higher note, climbing down an octave to a lower note. Here are two more examples of the C major scale, written both ascending and descending. As you notice, there is a number written under each note. It's called the degree of the scale. Remember, the first degree of the scale is always the lowest note. Remember, in a descending scale, the number 1 is at the end of the scale because that's the lowest note. Notice, the key note can be called the first or the 8th degrees of the scale. Either is correct. When you are counting the degrees of a scale, the lowest note is always the first degree, and you count up from the lowest note. Here are 3 short tunes in C major. Some of the notes are marked. Before you begin, read the remainder first. So far, we have only talked about the degrees of the major scale, which starts on C. This scale is called C major. The same principle applies to any scale, whether it's major or minor. In the exam, you may be asked to see which degree of the scale a particular note is. You will always be told the key of the piece of music. In order to answer the question, use the method you have just learned. Here are some exercises. Remember that the key note is the first degree of the scale, and read the remainder before you start it.